studied basic drawing in Lahore as a subject, but later on I moved to another part of Pakistan. There also I studied under masters, technical masters of Pakistan. Then I studied in Sri Lanka, in China, in Hong Kong. Then I went and I exchanged art ideas with artists. Every day I learned something which was not known to me earlier. But I think the best education came from Museum of Modern Art in New York.
Did you been there?
Yes, I've been there once.
Why you think this is the best education?
Because when you go to a art gallery, which is supposedly the best art gallery in the world, then you compare your own faults. If I use some cheap oil color, my painting might be strong, but later on the painting will fall into pieces. So that's what the masters taught us.
What do you think for education? Did you get enough education? Did you think to go some kind of academy in Netherlands?
Yeah, I went to St. Joost in Netherlands. But again, I was, how to say, I had this problem. I couldn't get the subsidy for the second and third year, so I only managed to study for 1 year. The policies of the Dutch government is very, very strict. The artists who are established, government will not mind give them 1 or 2 million guilders. But the artists who are just coming from another country to live here, they have lots of problems.
How many years you are in the art, you are working art?
Professionally, I started in 72. Even when I was in school, I was very good in drawings. But I just say I was lucky, that's all. I know what they mean, but I never tried singing. I know what they mean, but I never tried singing. I just listen to folk stories a lot of Pakistan. I listen to a lot of folk music.
What do you think for the Pakistan? You long time didn't go there. How is your feeling now?
How is my feeling now? I guess my children keep me occupied. I don't think much about Pakistan anymore because I have new responsibilities. I'm living in a... So, my sentiments, my emotions, I have them like any other human being.
But you have one kind of big nostalgic,
I have sympathies for my country because it's an underdeveloped country. There is so much to be done there. West has done maximum development. That's where human values come. Human values in Pakistan are far more greater than human values in Holland.
Yeah.
Here are no dignity, here are no emotions, no sense of human dignity. Because everybody, when you become comfortable, you don't want to share it with your neighbors. We, coming from different culture, we like to share things with our neighbors, with our division, with our district, with our fellow human beings.
What's nice for you here in Netherlands?
I'm friendly with so many children. I have 2 children of my own, keep me busy. I'm trying to raise them as a good human being. I hope the society someday will appreciate whatever I did in my limited resources for Holland. Because up till today, anybody coming on my door has never been gone back empty-handed. And we like to care for our neighbors.
For your personality, what mean before 7 years you have no children, now you have children? What really means for you now?
Well, when I didn't have children of my own, every year I used to earn from my projects, I used to invest it in children for a future. I've worked with children which don't belong to me, but just because they were children, I worked with them. I was working in refugee camps in Hong Kong.
But what mean today, now? Children for
Yes,
you, your children.
I'll come to that point. My children should know one thing, that is what is human dignity, and they should never cross that line where is to hurt another human being. And if I can put my message across them, across their mind in their upbringing, I guess I have done my contribution. But then nobody is perfect in this world. Who is perfect? Even the prophets.
Listen, Mohammed, I ask you directly, what's mean children for you? I am father also.
Yes,
What's mean children? Not philosophical, like what's going on with children. But what's mean you now? Because 7 years, 10 years ago, you have no children.
Yes. I guess I am more restricted. I can't help every child, but I can just help a few. Earlier I used to be involved with 50,000 children. You look for your parents to tender you, to help you, that if you should fall, they should be around. Same is the case with my children. God forbid something happens to them. I'm a very sensitive artist, then I get upset. And as a human being, you have certain limitations. But I'm very proud of my children. I think that's one of the best creation of nature that I have, that is coming out from my own body. I never distinguished children from human happiness, even if I was a child. Whatever I could do for other children, regardless of their color, creed, where were they born, who they are, on the spur of the moment, if I can help a child, look into the child's eye and see what's wrong or what can I do, I've done my bit. But living with children, watch them grow every day, their human needs become bigger and bigger, and I'm glad I can provide it to the best of my ability. But that requires a lot of time because my wife works. And
but also children used to use some back.
Yes, every evening a beautiful story, every day a new word, every day happiness. And that keeps me going. When you shoot, I will use my Chinese brushes.
Okay. Ready, right? Yes. Okay. Just a moment.
These are all technical. You have to go 5.
Okay.
There are 5 of them.
Okay.
Next.
Yes. Oh, wait. Yeah. Can you say me something? How comes it this war from you?
Well, these are studies of history and anthropology together, because West is traditionally very much oriented about Alexander. So this is my version of when Alexander destroyed Persia and he came towards India. What was he feeling? Because on his way back, he traveled the same route and he found ruins of the Persian Empire, that he couldn't believe it, that he did it himself. But when he was fighting, he never realized how much destruction he is doing. So this revolves around the burning of the great Zoroastrian Empire of Dariush the Great.
Tell me something about techniques this war.
Yeah, technically this is a rotary pen ink, but this is again done. I did it, started it in 1988, and up till now it's not finished.
And what do you think is this kind of inspiration from Salvador Dali?
Not only Salvador Dali, but most important is because this name is known to the West so much that people straight away associate you with Dali. But I think it's more or less more to do with the whole school of surrealism, which revolves around André Breton, Man Ray, even earlier Picasso, Hieronymus Bosch, because they used to paint so many stories within a painting. Bust of the Indian subcontinent, they go into a lot of confrontation with the West, because this is not the Western anatomy which is in the Greek set standards of anatomy. So I use both of them. I use, where is possible, the Greek and the Indian or the subcontinent sculptures which were done from about in the third world. Their parents cannot afford dowry and they can't get their daughters married. So this is what happens with age, that they don't have enough money to go and live in their own house. So just a process of decaying. They inside the painting and go through multiple images. There are no limitations. Have to accept this, accept that. Let the people decide what they want. This is again the classical burst of strong impacts of Kalash. Somehow a lot of times this figure comes back in my trial, and Dali came in his mouth. the emotion which revolves